Hi, I'm Heather. And I'm Holli, and we are Beyond Beauty. But today we want to talk about making a giving, not a living. Because that's something for us, we inherently are givers. Right, Heather? Yep. And so
It's really a genetic thing for us because my grandfather was a giver, my mother, our dad was a giver. And I think sometimes people will say, you know, when I get it, I'm going to give. And they missing out on the whole principle. Mm-hmm. Principle in giving is you give it because that's what you desire to do. And then the getting ends up coming to you, 30, 1,600 fold.
Yep. And, you know, that reminds me of a story. You know, he was my mother, like we talk about a lot, being single. And we lived on a street with a lot of our cousins and stuff. And we were like the only house with not the typical mom and dad setup. And on Fridays, remember, Mom would bring home the Ronald McDonald box with 15 cheeseburgers and 15 French fries for the whole neighborhood. And she would tell Heather and I, we'd go out, because on Saturday mornings was our little morning time. We'd go to like a Pit Grill or Denny's.
Yeah, like a Waffle House.
Waffle House. And Heather and I would grab my mother and say, "Oh, Mom, they look poor. Can you give them a good tip?" And she'd say, "They look poor. We poorer than them."
Yeah.
But we always had just, our perspective on people was always to give something. And so that, for us, is what we do daily with our clients. We love giving to our clients. And you know what? It's not even so much, is it in the haircut and the coloring and all that?
But all those are things that they come in expecting.
Yeah, the tangible.
I mean, if somebody schedules an appointment at H2O, they're expected to get a great haircut, right? Expected to have a great treatment, right? Color, etc. It's those extras. Do they expect you to remember the last conversation you had with them, their daughter's wedding, their birthday? And I think that's something that we do incredibly well, because one of the things that we possess is these memories. We remember everything, and we're all into the details. And I think I'd like to encourage people that find out your place of brilliance, because everybody has it, and you'll discover it. And you know how you'll discover it? People will bring it back to you and say, "You're great at that. I cannot believe you remembered that." So I think what helps us with learning how to be givers is always staying personal with our clients and knowing the details about what they're all about.
Exactly. And I think too is being thankful. I think Thanksgiving is a big thing. That's one of the things. That's really one of our whys, is we are truly thankful that we have the opportunity to touch people, make them feel great. You know, Heather, I know this has happened to her. I've done clients before where I'm drying their hair and I'm noticing they're not even looking at themselves in the mirror. And I'm thinking, okay, there's something going on here. So that's why I'll start trying to have a deeper conversation. You know, so, you know, tell me what's new's happened in your life. Are you going through something? Is there anything you want to talk about? And 9 out of 10 times, people really start opening up. So for me, it's really great is we really call ourselves day makers.
Yep.
Because that's really something, as one of our core values. We want to come in and make someone's day.
Because we want somebody to leave feeling different and wonderful. Mm-hmm. Like, I love how they made me feel. People will always remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And so that's just something that's important to us. And that goes into giving. So why do you give? So why would somebody want to be a giver? I'm going to say, why not? I would rather risk something. I'd rather be the initiator and the giver instead of the taker.
Me too.
Because the givers always multiply. It's a biblical principle. God created it. He was the greatest giver. And so it's something that he's given us, that gift of generosity. And I think that when you give that gift, or even if you don't have that gift, you need to ask, I want that gift. I want to be a giver. Mm-hmm. When you get that gift, everything really ends up coming back to you full circle.
And I think that's part of our culture. I think we've created a culture in our salons, a culture of giving. You know, because we are involved in so many different things. When our mother was challenged with Alzheimer's, in 3 years, we raised over $100,000 for the Alzheimer's Association.
And the Heart Association, and schools that we give back, and people who need to be encouraged, and even clients who may have had a hard season in their life. We just give back to them. When they go to check out, there's no ticket. Mm-hmm. We just do it. We don't even have to have a conversation about that. We just do it. And I think that when you do that, it's you live in a kingdom where it just comes back to you.
Yep.
Oh, we love it. I think the way you give, you can really give of your time. A lot of times people say, well, I don't have money to do that. Well, you know what? You can give with your time. You can give your talent, and then you can give your treasure. But just giving your talent, I've gone to different homes and done women's hair for nothing. just because I know everybody feels beautiful the minute they get their hair done, right?
Yeah.
Or even just giving up your time. Somebody that just wants, they're lonely, you know, or your client's getting a little bit older, and so you're going to take time out of your week to drop off flowers, or you're going to call and check on them. It's just doing something that takes you out of yourself.
Yep.
Is giving.
And sometimes I think with this younger generation, you know, we have teenage girls and boys, right? And they can become very self-focused, right? And then when you self-focus, you become very introspective. So for us, it's real important to like be others focused, you know? And I'll even ask my clients, is there anything, you know, you're going through right now you want me to pray for you? Is there anything you believe in for right now? You know, and you wouldn't believe, right, Heath, over the years, the clients that will send us notes back. You have no idea how much I needed that. You have no idea. You know, one of my clients was going through a rough time, and I said to her, I said, listen, Ellen, you can be pitiful or powerful. You can't be both. Right? And that was a word that I got one time.
Somebody gave you.
Somebody gave to me. Right? And she literally texted me that night. She goes, you know what? I so wish that I'm one day going to be able to tell someone what you told me today. Because of a pivotal moment that really made me just kind of identify, okay, Ellen, what are you doing right now? Where am I going?
Decide
right now.
Turning point.
A turning point.
Yeah.
Exactly. So really with this podcast, it's making a giving. And, you know, you can make a giving wherever you are. I'm big on Bloom where you plan. Like if you're in a coffee shop, you can give to anyone and you'll see the residual effects come back to you. Yep. So Heath, how can we wrap it up?
Well, I think that you need to decide that if you're not a giver, I think today you need to decide I'm going to give. And I think you need to decide that, you know what, I'm going to put this principle to work because it's a principle that the Creator made. And if He made it, then the law of increase is going to happen. So I think, again, whatever you practice doing and whatever you really challenge yourself to do that's different for you, you always grow from it.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a power that now you possess. I mean, who would want to possess the power of giving?
Yep. And it's funny because really your relationships, I mean,
and you know what happens?
All my
you end up really attracting givers.
Yep.
So all givers really all, right.
All my friends are givers. It's like, again, I always go back to what you want wants you. And I truly, truly, truly believe that. Like people who want to live mediocrity, who are lazy,
they're not going to
don't want to flourish, they just naturally are not attracted to me. And that's okay. But I do feel like you can take someone who maybe don't see that aspect. Maybe
it hasn't been modeled to them. They haven't cultivated it. No one showed them how to do that. Mm-hmm. And when they see that, they start to live in a house. That's what we call H2O. It's a house of giving.
Yeah.
It's a house of blessing. It's a house where increase happens.
Yeah.
Because we've lived it, and it's a principle that we've governed our whole lives by. And you can participate in that too. So,
and we want that for everyone.
Yeah.
Really.
It's beyond beauty.